This kid is sitting here and they're like TikToking or something in class, and you might give me that.
Color coordinated, looking good.
I guess we're that much in sync.
But you might not have it. But I can get it from Jerry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we just compile it stuff and I come up.
Because they're going to 3-4 times. You ready?
Yeah, we'll call this council work session to order. It's Wednesday, August 21st. The time is 2 p.m. I'll go ahead and open it up for visitor comments. If you'd like to come up and make a comment, keep it to 3 minutes or less, state your name for the record, and we'll be taking notes of action if needed. Who would like to speak?
Can't seem to make it work anyway, so I might as well take it. Upside down, I guess I lost it. Sorry about that.
You need that page?
Pardon?
You want me to grab that page for you?
I guess I can get
Not sure if you need that one.
it. Oh, that's your agenda.
Oh, okay.
That's your agenda.
Sorry, I probably left it.
Sorry about that. My name is Ron Tromlitz. The city council is doing their best and are sincere in their service. I object to a statement made about the council that the council was headed in the wrong direction. These people are operating with information being withheld. I filed for Emery and Sons information and I received 199 pages of the 2 million gallon reservoir replacement draft. The revised 30% clarification letter was dated February 26, 2024. The city council received this update May 1st, 2024. The city has paid Emery and Son $308,628 to date. Emery and Sons state they will not be billing for any more work because the city is shelving the 2 million gallon reservoir replacement. John Walsh hasn't provided any acknowledgement of the 2 million gallon replacement status. The more the city avoids the truth, the more they dislike the people who speak it. November 26, 22, I was given a message. I needed to cease revealing the failure of the 2 million gallon rehabilitation. I was told I was irritating people with deep pockets who were considering suing me, and I would lose my house and everything I own. This exposes the city because the city was a participant with the failure. The disclosure of the consequences and the cause is a concern of the city. A spotlight wanted my letter to the editor rewritten, removing reference to the message that I received to avoid any litigation. Accountability needs transparency. Silence is the issue for the city. The city doesn't use transparency. John Walsh requires silence and secrecy. The city decided that rehabilitation failure was workmanship. No evidence was for the cause and responsibility for the 2 million gallon reservoir was ever, there was no evidence. John Walsh claimed it was cloud privilege. The city attorney, Dave Bowers, was given a suggestion by the district attorney that the city could share the Walker report, redacting any legal advice. The disclosure would reveal cause and responsibility for the 2 million gallon reservoir rehabilitation. There is a need for responsible citizens to inform what the newspapers and John Walsh won't disclose. The newspapers show little interest and appear to avoid or suppress any issue John Walsh doesn't want disclosed. It seems harder to get newspapers to print letters to the editor of opinions. The Chronicle newspaper said it would print an 800-word guest opinion. The paper asked for evidence written in the opinion. I provided evidence of facts and the paper didn't print. I sent an email stating, I declare every word I wrote, spoke, or emailed was the truth. It appears the paper is wanting to censure opinion. The paper printed Patrick Klein opinion stating the city of St. Helens was broke. Was fact provided? Thank you.
And who else would like to speak?
Steve Topaz here. I'm going to give one of those government reports where typically Pat Berkeley would jump up and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. And the mayor would say, that's only your own opinion. This is a government report that connects the Boise dump by the fairgrounds with Malty Creek, the waste dump, which is abandoned by Walmart, the city water well of Old Portland Road, the sediment, Scappoose Bay, the sealing plant, the creosote plant, the paper mill, the fact that DEQ is going to cover all the toxic waste in the Scappoose Bay area and not move it, the cooling lagoon, the council's funding of the waste dump research or petitioning, the waterfront I&I, the Multnomah Channel fishing warning. This is an NIH report on cancer. Oregon has a cancer rate of 24.2. The US's rate is 22.5. The range of Oregon is, they have a number of cancer units or types from 23 to 24. So we're above everything as far as the US. Columbia County now is the highest cancer rate in the state of Oregon. It has a rate of 31.9. Its range ranges from 21.9 to 39.9. In other words, at our high end, we're 79% higher than the national average. We can see that all the contaminants and list is contributing to this. The nice part about this report is since so much of the population is stable, we've heard about, I've been here for so many generations, so it's going to be a good study area. The other nice part about this study is we're increasing our cancer rate where the state is falling, national is stable. So myself and you, your friends, your relatives, your kids, your grandkids, your great-grandkids are in basically a really good cancer study area, which is the cancer rate rising, and a lot of it can be attributed to the aforementioned pieces of property or projects. Thank you.
Thank you. Other visitor comments?
Brady Prion. First, Jessica doesn't speak for the council. So I think that your article that you did for the Chronicle is inappropriate. There's one person that does speak for the council, that would be the mayor. That's how it works. Or Mr. Walsh is the city administrator. That's not your job. There's a reason that you don't, because you made many dumb statements in your article. Like Treadway is gonna go to the next level. Yeah, they just canceled all the contracts for the people that were contracted to come here. Despite saying that they were gonna renew those contracts 2 weeks ago, they then decided that, no, we're really not going to. And they think, like you, that, oh, you can just screw those people over and they'll forget about it and come back another year. I know the talent guy. I've met him multiple times. I can tell you that is not gonna happen. You will never get another celebrity in this town. Period. He knows everybody, he's connected, and he's sort of vindictive. And you're screwing people over, just like you think that, oh, you can screw over the Sandcastle people. That'll work out. They'll forgive and forget and move on. They won't. You're destroying relationships that took decades, well, not years, almost a decade to build. And you're doing it like it's just nothing, no big deal. The haunted house needs a lot of work. They're not here. I know for a fact that the people that put it together need weeks to get it ready. Treadway knows nothing about it. They have no ability to talk to those other people. And if they think they can come in and do it faster than the people who put it together, they're wrong. So what are they gonna do? These people have committed a fraud on the city. They have came in and they said that we're gonna do this, we're gonna take over, and their plan is to do nothing. They're gonna put out a pumpkin for $193,000. This is not the next level. This is a disaster. And you are all responsible, every one of you, that you've created this disaster. And you're sitting here by while this agency is scamming us. Because, gee, they're gonna collect a check and do nothing. Zero. In addition, the financing, which Lori is gonna review today, is way over budget. If Treadway gets their contract the way it was written, the way it's written, it's $1 million. We don't have $1 million. So tell me how that's gonna come up in your supplemental budget. And you also funded Main Street, even though the budget committee specifically denied it. So tell me, how does that happen? Was that another favor to Russ so you can get another grant? That you just fund Main Street out of contingency funds or whatever, even though it was denied? Those are unacceptable and illegal actions. Budget is the budget. You don't get to go over it.
Any other visitor comments?
Steve Toskey on here.
Go ahead, Zoom, Steve. Like to mute yourself. State your name for the record, please.
Steve Toskey, citizen of St. Helens. Thank you, Mayor Scholl. I am just, as a person who patronizes a lot of the businesses in town, I can say that I think there are some things that perhaps the council didn't anticipate, and some of the changes that have gone on this year, and the construction downtown, our downtown business.
You're cutting out, Steve. You just.
And our downtown businesses are in need of help, and I would suggest the council look to urban renewal funds to try to create a fund where our businesses can apply for lost revenues as a Band-Aid to help them get through this year. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any others? Okay, we'll go on to, I have a presentation for a certificate for outgoing librarian board member, Jessica Sturdivant. So if you'd like to come on up. We have Susan Bishop, our,
Just a couple
yes,
words About Jessica.
do.
Express our gratitude to you, of course, for all of your hard work. And especially Jessica has an incredible passion for the library, which shows in the summer when she brings her kiddos and settles in to read some books together. And she comes to the programs that we offer for kiddos. She has an incredible wealth of knowledge. I think her depth of knowledge is particularly being a Montessori teacher has really informed her strength of belief in what libraries do. And Jessica was on our subcommittee for the strategic plan and was really inspiring, I think, to the group and to the whole board, and has a particular passion, which she expressed multiple times, that the library really means everything to everyone. And it's a very important part of the community. We're really grateful to you.
It sure does. And Jessica, I just want to say I have a pleasure meeting you at the boards and commissions meetings that we've had. And we really appreciate you and all that you've done for the library board. I don't know where you're moving on to, but this is well deserved. So I'm gonna.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yep. And yeah, hang tight for a minute because I think we're gonna also She likes to get this in the background
Okay, got
because it shows our city. Come on, Suzanne.
Sir.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, come on.
Make it really quick. Or newsletter.
Thank you, Jack, with the chamber.
Again, well deserved. I would like to also turn it over to Suzanne too, because I know we have our new youth librarian here as well. So I'd like to do that at this. Yes, thank you very much.
Eyes closed.
We need to close the company. Excuse me, Mayor, we need to do some more. Somebody's eyes.
Oh,
Okay.
Was mine closed? Oh, no. I closed my eyes. My eyes are wide open.
All right.
Not creepy though.
Yeah.
A little bit
Overly open.
while I'm talking. All right.
Is that better?
Thank you.
Okay, so let's segue into that, Suzanne.
Thank you very much. We're good. Thank you. So we sit. Well, it is with great pleasure that I introduce our new youth and makerspace librarian, Jana Wiersma. We are so thrilled that she's here. She's been here for a whole week and a day, I think. So she's jumped right in, tons of enthusiasm, already some great ideas for how to reinvigorate the makerspace, the kiddos programs, already introducing herself to families in the library and jumping right in at the front desk, just wherever she's needed. It's been a challenge to find someone that could fit this position because, we combined it, we renovated the position so that we have youth and makerspace. She'll be doing 35 to 40% of her time in the makerspace, and then the other time doing traditional youth programming. That means at least we'll be doing the regular story times that we do for the littles on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. A Lego program, we're going to get the homeschool meetup back and running, a couple of other programs, and then she'll be spending a good amount of her time in the next month or two just getting the makerspace equipment back and running, starting to put some programming together. She has a great attention to detail, so we're very excited about the inventory and some other things that she's going to do to get the programs going. Wanted to express my gratitude to the hiring committee. Counselor Sundin, Rachel Berry was a part of our committee. Jana Mann, who just stepped down as the board president, and Brenda at the library, and myself. It was a tough decision. We had 58 applicants, 21 folks that had some experience that was relevant. We took it down to 3 people, and There was just no question that Janet was the right fit for the job. We're just so thrilled that she's here and really excited about getting the makerspace back up and running. So I invited Janet to say a couple of things about herself if she'd like.
Yeah, so my husband and I just moved here. We're very excited to join this community. I come with 6 years of public library experience working with all ages, programming for all ages, and 3 of that was with the community funded makerspace. So I very much felt like the job description was exactly what my resume had to offer. I specialize in early literacy and STEM programming for children. My master's degree is in library science, but with a special focus in young adults and children librarianship. So I'm very excited to bring that to this community.
Yeah, we're excited to have that. Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, look forward to seeing what you come up with, programs and stuff, and continue to do the good work. I mean, we love our library over there. I mean,
I use the
Jessica,
library
Jessica's right. It needs a lot of people.
makerspace too. My
Yep.
kids love the makerspace, so I cannot wait to see what you're gonna do with it.
My hope is to get some crossover with youth programming and the makerspace. And
Awesome.
it's, you know, you kind of can balance.
Yep, and
Yeah.
show them how technology is cool and this is how we do stuff. Yeah, yeah, awesome.
So watch for an open house in another month and a half, maybe mid-October. Once we get things going, and we'll do an open house for the makerspace so we can introduce her to the community and get that back and rolling. So we thank you very much for your
I
support.
appreciate you coming here and introducing yourself.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item, report from South Columbia County Chamber of Commerce, Jack Massey. You want to come on up?
Always bringing something with you.
There's no microphone anymore. I have to yell?
No, it's right there. It's, yeah, it picks you up pretty good too.
Okay, good. Good. Oh, let me bring these to you guys. If I can just start one, pass them down. I didn't get my report to you in advance, so there you go.
All right. Yep, there is. There's enough for, we'll have one too.
That one's about right. Okay, fabulous. Well, thank you
Yep.
for having me here again. It's my 6-month checkup. Just starting off with the stats, just as I like to share that with you guys. Just dropped it down to like an annual thing now. You can see that over the past 3 years, we've increased, and now we're up to 145 active members. Big thing, big change that's taken place is that the once was staff of 1 is now staff of 2. We are introducing Ashlyn Bowers. Back in April, we hired her to serve the role of the Director of Communications. So in this role, she is doing all of the networking events, the ribbon cuttings, and basically managing and helping plan any upcoming events such as the banquet and other fundraisers that the chamber is doing. Trying to focus on doing some more fundraisers throughout the year to help increase our budget. So she's great in that capacity. She also takes care of the social media sites, our newsletter, and doing some changes on our website. So she's got a background in graphic design and she's putting that to use. With that, my role has also changed. My focus is now moving towards just increasing memberships. New title of Outreach Director, turning my attention to membership growth. So I'm pursuing leads that we've had, following up with members that their membership has expired, and just maintaining, good relations with our current members as well. Working with the marketing committee, we are evaluating our benefit plans to see if there's anything we can mix things up a little bit, change them up, make them better, make them a little more incentive to either join the chamber, or even maybe have some of our members consider moving up to benefits that we're offering in the upper brackets. As outgoing executive director, of course, heading off the tasks has taken some time. It's not an overnight thing. Transition is slow. But we're getting there, and we just, it all comes down to clear communication, open communication, and understanding our roles. We are sharing hours. We are sharing office time. The office is technically officially supposed to be open Tuesday through Friday now from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. either Ashlyn or myself would be serving during those times. So with that, I'm gonna give you guys a quick recap about our banquet, which hopefully most of you attended. Did y'all have a chance to go?
I mean, you know, I was there.
I know you were there. A lot of people, can't remember all the faces. So we had, I feel it was a really great event. Back on March 23rd, we held our event. We had our glitz and glamour, brought a little bit of Hollywood to South Columbia County. So that was fun. Set up the red carpet. We rolled out the gold carpet, and we had our promotional paparazzi out there doing little mini interviews as people were walking in. So that was fun. Had raffle prizes, photo booth, wine and whiskey wall, all things that were a good draw to have people there and have fun and also make a little bit of money for the chamber. The theme was "It's your time to shine," and lots of businesses had the opportunity to do just that. Just want to do a quick little shout out here, thanking My Northwest Events. They provided a lot of the decor and the planning that went into how the event appeared when you walked in and all that. Melinda is amazing at what she does, and that's her business. So just want to give a shout out to her. A Bushel and a Peck Flower Farm came through with some really beautiful floral arrangements. Table settings were also done by the two of them. Vault Elite Cheer Team kicked off the event. I wanted to say that they were our young entrepreneurs, future business women of South Columbia County. They were darling. They also were helpful in like taking our plates after the salad course was done and kind of serving a little purpose there. And there were donation containers around the event as well. You may have noticed them. So at the end of the event, we collected those and made sure that they got those. So that money went towards them attending upcoming tournaments and just supporting them as well. Broke up our meal. It was a 4-course meal, but we broke that up within 4 different businesses. So I was trying to share the love with our vendors. The Klondike provided the appetizers during cocktail hour. And the salads were provided by the Village Inn. Sunshine Pizza provided the main course. I thought it was pretty tasty. I didn't have a chance to eat it till after the event, but what I had was very good. And then St. Helens Tourism donated the desserts. If you saw the dessert table, it was gorgeous. So I'll just say thank you to all of those businesses. And our promotional paparazzi. Keep it local, Columbia County Spotlight, and we had our own SEC Chamber reporter this year, Judy Thompson. So that was fun. Judy really enjoyed doing that. And I know the Chamber and the Keep It Local interviews were all live streamed on Facebook. So if you didn't catch those then, you can flip back and check them out. They were kind of fun. Cherry on Top photo booth was a donated service, and she was like, do any day. So we really appreciated her coming there. We kind of joked and said it was a true labor of love, but we weren't sure if she was going to be able to be there for the event, but all was good. And those were all free photos for our guests. Beyond the Forest and Crooked Creek Brewery, they had the drinks flowing, and Mr. DJ 503 had the music going. So I feel like it was a success overall. Had a lot of positive feedback. And again, once again, I think with any event, you have a lot of takeaways, things you're going to do different the next year, you're going to improve on, build on. And so once again, that was the case. What we did good, and what we change up. So we've got some really valuable information to use moving forward. I talked a little bit about more fundraising events for the Chamber. We actually have one coming up in October. The Costumes and Cocktails. It's a Halloween event for adults. We felt like maybe we didn't have a lot of things offered to our parents for Halloween. And so we are going to have this event on Saturday, October 5th at the at the Elks Lodge. Not everything's ironed out, but this is the gist of what you're gonna see or have at the event. The trick or treat bar, palm reader or fortune teller, or both. We'll give away some costume prizes. There'll be photo booth, with backdrop, some fun stuff there, giveaways, raffle drawings, probably Mr. DJ 503 there, open us out with some music, maybe some karaoke. Karaoke, Mayor. Of course, food, fun, and lots of opportunities again for businesses to promote themselves by either donating a basket for the door prize or costume prizes or things like that. We're going to be encouraging all businesses and all people to come. In fact, we want businesses that aren't members, just maybe even more than our members, because we want them to see that the chamber is doing good things. Our networking events are growing. We're up to like 50 or more, pretty much every happy hour now. Coffee and Commerce is right up there as well. I mean, when we have them at the chamber, we are packed. There's standing room only. So we're just booming, and we just want more businesses to know that there's advantages to joining the chamber. So they can do well and, you know, promote their businesses and, you know, hopefully grow their customer base as well. So our leadership base at the chamber is growing as well. Figured I'd give you some photos of our board as it currently sits. Rhonda Hill still in the president seat. Kyle Boggs, vice president. We have a new secretary, Miss Sandra Capswin, with the Beauty Lounge. She just came on board like this last month. Darren Wallace with Perliman CPA is still our treasurer. And then another new member, Tyler McVeigh, you may have seen him around with Premier Restoration Partners. They do some really amazing things for the community and devastated families who have suffered through fire or flood damage. They will come in and help them through the entire process. Mark Pacheco, I'm sure you guys are familiar with Mr. Mark Pacheco with the county, and Haley Iverson still on the board, kind of not sure if she wants to still hang in there or she's served her time and then some. And then Beth was Moffett, now Beth Dennis with Understanding My Medicare. So there we go. We've got 8 members on board. We'd like to have one more. So we have an odd number, you know how that goes for voting purposes, but that's what we've been up to. Still, you know, transitioning a little bit here and there, but we have a happy hour this evening, by the way. I know it's Wednesday, but it's tonight at Keller Williams, Lower Columbia. So join us if you can. That being said, we also had a great time in the parade, by the way. Guys, catch the parade? Were you in it? We were in it too. So I'm gonna hand these out because I'm gonna challenge you guys.
Oh, there's a test.
Take one pass down. I have a challenge for
Pay
you.
attention.
There's a test.
This is what we handed out at the parade, and it was kind of a play on words. Chamber is a smart investment. So that's the Smarties we have on there. I'm challenging each of you to find a business that's not currently a member. Tell them about what the chamber does and something maybe that you appreciate about our services, and just share this with them. Tell them to give us a call and talk with us a little bit more about how we can benefit their business. Okay?
Okay.
And then when they call me, they should say, and Jessica Chilton told me to call you. Mayor Scholl told me to call you. I'll check you off my list.
And you have our city logo there.
And then we have this. So this actually was a large banner that we had at the banquet. I didn't know what else to do with it because it's gonna be different next year. But it was our Shining Star banner. And you guys were on there through the tourism funding because you donated more than $500 worth of services or donated products to our event. So you were a Shining Star, and so I cut up the banner and I'm sharing the love. And I don't know what you do with this, something, but it is, you know, material that can be outdoors. So just sharing all those businesses that were on there, giving them their little piece of the pie.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
do with this as you wish. There you are. Don't throw darts at it.
I know, we won't throw darts at it.
Do you have any questions for me?
Smashes.
Any questions?
Just a reminder, the city is an active chamber member, so you guys can come to chamber events anytime you want. It's encouraged. It's a good way to get a pulse on what's going on in the community, and being able to talk a little bit about our perspective of what's happening in the city is very helpful, I think.
I think it is too. And a lot of people are asking about Halloween Town. Is it happening? Is it not? I think hearing from someone from the city and kind of clarifying what the status is of that would be really helpful.
I have that type of conversation almost every chamber event, but it's really helpful to see other people doing the same, and it's a fun time. You meet a lot of business owners, and it's just a good time to connect with the community.
What time is it tonight?
From 4:30 to 6:30. You know where Keller Williams, Lower Columbia is?
By the Dollar Tree,
Yeah.
brand new.
Right,
Yeah.
right next door to them.
Rich Bailey.
He knows who built it.
And if you haven't seen it lately, ooh, you need to go see it. It's really gorgeous. Any other questions, comments, concerns,
Thank you, Jackie.
questions?
No, look forward to the event coming up.
We fixed some newsletter emails. Someone was getting duplicate. I tried to make some changes there.
I can't remember the last time I actually got a newsletter.
Oh, no, it was that.
In the opposite way. But my work email changed, so that's probably what.
Check your spam maybe,
Yeah.
or
Yeah, it could be.
email address.
Figure it out.
Yeah. But there were some duplicates. John, you were one of them. So you too.
I'm trying to. I get one.
Well, I tried to fix it, but if you're not getting any, that's not the right way to go with it.
Yeah, I don't know that I have one. So
Whoa.
we'll check on that. We're
Okay, if I go adding one, then you start getting two again. Don't blame me.
writing a note of it right now.
Okay, well, my information's on there if you need to get a hold of me.
Thank you, Jack. Okay, let's go on to our next item, which is the first quarter financial report, 2024, 2025. Financial Director Gloria Butch.
Should be fourth quarter,
Yeah.
2023, 2024.
Yes, it should.
Does it say 25?
It
says
says
first
first.
quarter.
2024,
Oh my gosh.
2025, yes.
No, you won't get the first quarter 2025 until
Yes.
after September.
Next year, yes.
He's like, I am not ready.
You're that good.
So this is kind of our preliminary year-end report, fiscal year-end report as of June 30. I'm gonna skip down a little bit and just highlight, as we know from our budget discussions, the general fund cost of services are outweighing the revenues.
Do we have something to pop up on the board here?
So if you want to just do that first page, the memo.
I could do it here, but I think
Sorry, Lisa. Lisa asked me if I wanted to put anything up and I said, oh, no, I don't usually, so. No, not that one. Not that one? No. It's page 3 of the packet, that one, yeah. So if you scroll down to right there. Okay, so I'll start over. As we know from our budget discussions, the general fund costs of services are outweighing the revenue. Operating costs exceeded operating revenue by nearly $1.3 million for fiscal year 2024. For fiscal year 2025, we have once again infused the general fund with one-time revenue. And this practice is not sustainable. I'm just going to keep on repeating myself on that. That's not sustainable. So my advice to the city council is to make it a priority to identify and obtain the resources to support general services, or we need to start the discussion now about how we're going to make some difficult decisions on service cuts. No, not popular. Absolutely not popular, but we need to start having these discussions. We either need revenue to support the services, or we're going to have to decrease services. One or the other. Okay, so coming up next month in September, on your first meeting, we're going to do a supplemental budget. It's for the purpose of funding the tourism fund to increase our materials and services based on our new contract, and to infuse it with startup costs for Halloween Town and beyond. So we know we're going to start at zero, basically, in funds, other than what we've got budgeted. Well, there's a budget, but then there's cash. We've got the budget partially, but we need to increase that budget based on the cost of the contracts and the cost of those events. And we need to increase the cash because there's not cash. There's not sufficient cash available. So we're going to be taking a interfund loan from the Community Development Fund and loaning it to the Tourism and Events Fund.
So for anybody watching though, that knows, that the account is in process of, it's froze. That our current tourism.
We're working on, you know, the back end of all of that stuff that's going on. We know that, but for us to be able to continue
That's right.
doing our programming and everything that we want to do and need to do,
Yes,
we have to do this supplemental
supplemental
budget and interfund loan.
yes.
Yes,
But the end game, that will come back, be backfilled.
that is the hope.
The end
Yes,
game, yes,
that's,
that's the hope, yes.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
'cause we can't guarantee until
We
it's there.
cannot guarantee anything at this
That's
point.
right, yes, I just want to make that clear though.
Yes.
And I think another part of this budget that I think before you came in too was that we had Armstrong close about 4 years ago.
Mhm.
And then at that point in time, we had the ARPA funding coming through shortly after that because of COVID.
Right,
And we went ahead and we felt the need to create a couple positions on that at that point in time. And then with Cascade leaving, which was fairly significant to our general fund, but not completely. But in other areas, it was, 1.4 million in total. So with that being said, I mean, that's kind of the hard part of where we're at today is the ARPA funding that was freely given to us from the federal government is completely gone.
right.
And the Boise revenue is completely gone.
Right.
Now, we tried to adjust to Armstrong, but we actually falsely had money given to us from the ARPA funding from the federal government. And which helped fill that gap. And again, into the one-time funding that you're recommending that we do not do.
Right.
So, and I appreciate your honesty here and that but I just want to make it very clear, because I think that's the hardest part to get out is for people to understand budgeting.
It is.
Um,
And we are very dependent on the economy and we're very dependent on, for St. Helens, we're just very dependent on industrial businesses.
Yes.
And that's in support of not just our general services, but it's also in support of the urban renewal.
Yes.
And so, you know, it's all economy based, right? And so you're right, if we can get some more industrial business in there, which we're working
On.
diligently on.
Yeah.
And until that starts paying back, we have to talk about how we're going to
Between
stay
now and then.
balanced.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, but I just want to try to make it clear how we got here. It wasn't, it was just kind of a perfect storm, but
Mhm.
again, you just came on board. All
Right.
right, you didn't create those ARPA funding positions.
Right.
That was nothing, so I just.
Yeah.
And again, so I just want to,
And I'm not here to say that creating those ARPA positions
Yeah.
was a bad thing.
Yeah.
They performed a big need at that time.
at the time they did. yeah.
And yes, there are holes now, but it's again, how do you continue to support and pay for those services? It was a hard decision
Yes.
and unless we get some steady revenue, we're going to make more hard decisions.
And we should be prepared to do that.
We need to be.
Because you look at Intel,
Yeah.
you look at what's going on over there, Mayor Callaway and that whole crew is pretty well seasoned. And I don't know how much it'll be affected at their location, but 1,000 employees being laid off.
Right.
Right?
It's everywhere.
Yes.
It is.
So that's where the state we're in right now.
It's not something we want to have to do.
Yeah, exactly. So.
I had one comment. I was hoping where could you comment on the Main Street questions about the budget?
So it's my understanding that yes, we budgeted. It's in projects and programs in the Community Development Fund under economic, what, I'm not sure what the word is, John, economic
community
planning or something like that.
Yeah.
But when we develop the budget, we're not going through line by line by line, what's going into a line. We say, we're going to we're going to probably fund this, fund this, fund this, and we keep enough in those line items that if that comes up, so Main Street came up and that was something that was important to the council that we fund. So we're using that line item and paying that to the Main Street, for the Main Street program. It's an important item.
So,
And
To your knowledge, it was never brought up that we weren't gonna fund Main Street.
No,
Because
not to
I
my
was like,
knowledge.
did I completely miss that topic?
no,
We have
no,
it
we
on the-
don't.
I don't know why there's that perception out.
I prefer to not, to go down those rabbit holes when we're doing a budget committee meeting.
Yeah.
And it really isn't the purpose or the function of the budget committee to say, no, we're not gonna fund this program, no, we're not gonna fund that program. It's just not their thing. They see the budget, and if there's some major cuts that we need to make, we give them ideas and help work through those ideas. And you sit, as the council, you sit on that budget committee meeting to help that conversation and help inform that conversation with the rest of the committee. And that's how it functionally should work. So you know, from working with staff, working through the year, through all of your work sessions and everything that you know that is important to the citizens that you know of, that have, you know, you're out there, you're talking to the community, you know what's important to them. So you bring them to us, you bring them to staff, and then we form the budget around that. And that's how we inform the budget committee when we get to the time of a budget committee meeting. So, and so to bring that back, we don't say, we're gonna fund Main Street this year. You know, it's in there, you know, so it's just not that granular.
Thank you for just clarifying that.
yep, I think that is a huge clarification.
Yeah,
It is,
re-
absolutely.
related to that and the ARPA funding that you were talking about earlier, Mayor.
Yeah.
Was that the council adopted it, how the ARPA funds were gonna be spent, and the ARPA was put in there for 3 years. And it, then we also developed a memorandum of understanding with the Main Street Organization.
Yep.
And, you know, it goes in perpetuity as long as, you know, we have to give each other notice if we're gonna stop it, and we haven't done that, so.
Yeah, and to clear Counselor Hubbard that he has nothing to do with this. This is not in any, this is started way before he was even on board.
It is.
Yes.
Main Street brings in hundreds of thousands of dollars for
Yes.
Main Street.
That's right. Yep.
That, if you did a percentage on the volume they bring in is 3% maybe.
Yep. So, okay, thank you for the clarification. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Next is, will these just keep happening, John? What is going on with these utility leaks?
You'd be over by now, wouldn't you?
I think you
I-
did.
I think it is.
And now we got the laundry.
Yeah, so our next item is utility bill leak adjustment request for 1835 St. Helens Street, West Side Laundry. So,
And, you know, I was like, the reason that they come is they're over $1,000. And,
Uh-huh.
you know, I look at if it's 2 months of 500 or, you know, if it's that are less, but no, one of the months is actually over $1,000. One's less than that, but, Yeah.
so we caught it, they caught
they
it.
caught it, they
Yeah.
fixed it. Same as, and starting to think more that maybe it's just a probability thing. And if the council don't want to hear these leak adjustments, and you can certainly kick it down to staff. I did ask that a year or two ago, and if you wanted to keep hearing them. But if you want to talk about leak adjustments in your work sessions, we can continue to do that. Or raise the threshold.
Or raise the threshold maybe just a little bit, I think, because it seems like we're getting them, the threshold right now is 1,000, right? 1,000.
That requests over $1,000.
And you give the full amount of the,
If they do go through the steps and can document that they fixed the repair, you know, there's receipts and all the things they have to go through. And a lot of times the repairs are fairly expensive, that, yeah, we'll write off adjust it to the average monthly billing on their billing history.
and then had issues in the city of Portland where they only cut it back something. You're still gonna
Pay extra,
take part of the risk of the
really?
leak, yeah.
Good.
It's hard sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's what they do. It seems like most of them billing cycles. Why don't they catch it on the first cycle?
Is it slightly just behind the billing cycles? It seems like most of them have 2 billing cycles and it seems like it's not caught till well into the second one
Yeah,
or beyond sometimes.
a lot of time, and that's typical of most any place. You don't really see that your bill has spiked until that second one comes through.
You kind of
It's
question the
typical.
first one,
Yeah.
it's
Right.
a little high, but
Right, if it's a really significant leak.
Yeah.
You'd probably notice. And you know, then you'd call in and say, hey, you know, I've got a high water. We try to catch those before those bills even go out. And contact the customer if we see a really high usage. Contact the customer and say, we think you might have a leak. You can do these things to verify.
most of the ones we've been looking at lately have been just over $1,000. Should we raise the threshold to 1,500 for the staff? Unless we want to continue to look at them, I have no problem, but I think 1,500.
It was worse before we went to monthly billing too. And then the electronic bill reading system automatically flags it. So
But I think most of them have been right around $1,000, a little over $1,000 that have been coming to us.
Right, yeah.
So I think we want to keep seeing them.
I don't have a problem raising the threshold. I think some have been significantly higher though.
Yeah, we'll see those. still.
Yeah,
there's some outliers that are.
Yeah. And then we can question. Getting a phone call.
Sorry.
Mark.
Yes.
Is everybody okay with the $1,500 threshold? Anything else would come to us and we could ask those questions of staff and even if we didn't want to approve, we can ask of the applicant.
These are always leaks on the private side.
Yeah.
Do we need to do any
Work session action item.
resolutions or anything on that?
I don't know that we ever did resolution on it, did we?
I imagine there's something in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be either policy or code or something. I'll look into it.
Do you see what the average of the last few are too? That like the last 6? I don't know, that's too much to ask. I know you're busy. But just see what the last 6 or 7 have been or 8 and just,
Like if
What-
it would be reasonable to raise it to 1,200 or 1,500
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
exactly.
what number it should be at.
yeah, yep. Cause it seems like we're seeing these every almost every meeting.
I know, that's what my concern is, not necessarily with reading them. I'm just like, why is there so many?
Okay,
leaks?
so they obviously explained, we want to explain what was going on with this leak, cause I know we kind of went off a
Yeah,
little bit.
running toilet that they
Yeah.
fixed, yeah,
Okay,
at the laundromat. So
okay. Yeah, and if we have any policy, Gloria, we would like to, of course,
Yeah,
have that too.
I'll try to have it on the meeting on the 4th. If not, it'll be on the 21st.
Sounds good. Thank you. Okay, ma'am, we are right on schedule. We're actually 2 minutes ahead. Now we're gonna go into our city administrator report. John Walsh.
All right, Mayor, it's been uncomfortably busy lately with all the projects and programs and people out for summer breaks and the work. It's been very, very busy and, thanks to everybody needs their time off, but Lisa, even Kathy's at home, working part-time the best she can to kind of keep up things. Crystal's been, we've all been doing a
Thank you.
lot of work and it's we're
Thank you, John.
keeping up, but slipping behind a little bit too on other important things. And so on the evening agenda, there's going to be there's a resolution tonight on the Gloria mentioned it about creating this account for the joint checking account. The joint resolution is going to be at one.
Yes, it's going to be a banking resolution. We've decided on opening an account at WANA Credit Union for the administration of the events. That
Basically,
would be
trust
all the
account.
events account.
It will be a joint account with limited access on their end. So they'll have a,
So it won't be a joint account. It will be the city's account and will give access to the event contractor in order to do business. They will have no ability to withdraw funds, transfer funds,
Perfect.
or of that nature.
deposits, basically.
Also on tonight is resolution 2019, which is the jail levy that you, as council, were, if there's language in there you want to change, or if it looks acceptable, please, let us know. I'm going down the regular session agenda because the purpose of work sessions is talk about, in part, about what you're going to be approving later in the evening, but and answer any questions you might have. The agreement with Scappoose Bay, that's a $3,000 agreement with Scappoose Bay Watershed to coordinate volunteers and to work in the city parks to do enhancement projects. We've worked over the years, many years, with Scappoose Bay doing those types of small projects, and they're big bang for a buck. Up in the watershed, we've done projects and enhancement things, and this one's more localized city parks, but it's to work with the friends groups and things of that nature. Get things done. So
And that came from the Parks Trails Commission.
that's coming through Scappoose Bay.
Yeah, but I imagine it was also discussion there.
We went through it this time.
Okay, great. Yep. Just want to make sure.
I haven't been going to all the parks
Yeah,
commissions.
I just wanted to make sure that.
Brandon has,
Yeah.
you better.
Liaisons, yeah.
I've been to some, but also related to projects and finance is Amendment 1 to the Oregon Park and Rec Department Land Conservation and Water Fund Grant for the Riverwalk Phase 1, and that is the you'll see this in here. That is the National Parks. This is a grant that increases the award for the Riverwalk by $710,000. So it's across.
Doubles, essentially doubles. it.
Yeah.
It pays for the whole project,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, it's a really good thing. We talked about it a lot. It's finally the actual document you're signing to do it
Good.
tonight. There's an amendment to the contract with Landis and Landis for the work up here in the intersection as far as undergrounding the power right there. There was some additional work related to the franchise. We're dispute with one of the franchise.
Aluminum.
Yes. With the branches, for getting their portion of the work done, we've, rather than bury that back up, we put extra conduit in, we put the services in and get it all
Ready to go.
done, buttoned up, ready to put in, so we don't have to go back and tear out the street. We're gonna work to get this funds through. But
I was gonna ask
What
about
was
that.
that initial one was it a cost over, that didn't uncover any of this?
well, the cost overrun is related to that, but we think it's kind of recoupable. So
From,
from the contractor, or service provider. There's an amendment to Clark and Sons, pretty small amendment. It's a recent award on a 2024 pavement patching, just small patches around town. There's a $10,000 increase in that award to have Clark and Sons piggyback on that, and get that work done.
I think we need to look at the quality of the patches we're getting from them.
Have you seen one?
Yeah.
Bad?
They're bad. And I think they're getting reviewed by Tim. I talked to him about it. And as far as the $10,000 go, he was saying they're not gonna use it, so I don't know, that's the ground people out there deciding what they're gonna pay. So I think that's a question mark for me, as if we need to give them the 10. It isn't specific where, but I think we need to look at the quality that they're doing. You'll see in front of Gables, a couple of them they've done.
Yeah.
Pretty rough.
Oh, in front of Broadleaf Arbor? Or?
Not what
Not
Tommy
related.
did. No,
Okay.
this is
Okay,
down far
that
away.
ways.
And they're just small patches. They're not major patches like that. They're not the quality we're gonna wanna see for.
Sure. And I know that it's something we used to do as a city and we have an IGA with the county. Do they still, I mean, they've been running a hot plant for a little while now up there at Morris Brothers repaving. I mean, it'd be nice to start working together collectively with a contractor like that, you know.
That's good.
You know, in the future years, we're having an IGA with the county and they had a hot plant going up there. It's too late now probably, but you probably catch something at the end of that or in betweens. And the county does have the asphalt ability to, you know.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I think when we let a contract like any of that sort of thing, we're gonna take a look at the specifications on that. Not to be after these guys, they did it with, you know, but they're using a track hoe, a small track hoe to scrape the pavement and it should be a planer that comes in and planes it all down uniformly. So I think it's our spec that ought to be brought up to, you know, levels of asking for that sort of thing, whoever bids the job.
Yeah, I would invite Sharon down if she was not on vacation to talk about all of that, but
Yeah,
That's something looking at.
sure, yeah, I know it's getting close to not being asphalt season, so, I mean, I don't know what the projects are, and I wish we had more answers, cause I hear what you're saying. I don't know, do we withhold it tonight, or do we? That's the question, you know, that it's asphalt season, it's coming up on the tail end of it, fall. I don't know.
I mean, I think that if you're not getting quality work from it, we're wasting money. So even if that means we have to wait to get quality work instead of having to redo it, makes sense to me. So I say we wait until we do.
how about if I meet with Tim and Alex and engineering and in between the meetings here and get a statement out of them, just get their sense of it.
I mean, it was just. There was one patch left in front of the Columbia Tavern where they did the sewer line. From what I understand was gonna be that, but he said they weren't gonna do that, so I don't know where. This is just what I hear from one of the employees, so.
Yep.
I think it's worth a question for quality.
I'll try to learn more about it between the meeting break here. And then number 7 on your agenda is the community development block grant, the $2.5 million grant we got to advance the work on the wastewater conveyance. Piping.
Three different trunk lines.
3 different trunk lines. Basically, it's a reallocation of that $2.5 million because some of the categories that we put in our initial budget have caps and we were like environmental review. They have a small cap in there, so we had to put like a wetlands delineation and other factors that are kind of teased out individually, which are eligible. It just, you know, working within the federal framework to use most of the funds we can, so. And so, you know, that's it for the agenda. 13 nights, two more meetings or 2 more.
Who's this Thursday?
This Thursday is Hot Club Sandwich, so.
Sounds delicious.
Sounds-
Oh.
Hopefully the weather's been good, but we haven't had any rain outs yet, but the last event, Jeff Foxworth, that typically comes every year, had to cancel, so I found another band that plays at A&A and played at the fair that was pretty well liked, so we've got them on board, and we're all signed up and making that happen, but
They play a lot on the coast too. I'm familiar with that band.
oh yeah, good deal there.
Yep.
Other than that, a lot of property related things, getting the you know, working on the mill site, working on the riverfront projects and working with Treadway to get them up to speed and
So the front of the strand looks like it's going back together. Is it, I mean, it looks like it's being trenched, but it looks like it's also going back together.
yeah, the natural gas line was right under the pavement, so they had to come in and voice the walls of ears.
Hey, Alex.
I can elaborate a little bit more on the Clark and Sons.
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah.
So, initially, you know, we were going back and forth on this contract amendment because there's other public improvement projects that are later on down the pipeline through developers, specifically along, you know, Columbia Boulevard for that big patch. A lot of that big cost was gonna be for, you know, there's gonna be a lot of pavement that has to be replaced there, as you know. But, you know, we're waiting on some public improvement plans from a developer in order to actually go through there, because they may have to go through there and break up the pavement anyways to connect to the sewer line. So, there was a couple other small patches associated with it, but it's not gonna be within the magnitude of that pavement patch that's on Columbia Boulevard.
So are you saying your recommendation is that we don't put a patch there?
Yes, my recommendation is to not put a patch there because there's other public improvement work.
Right, we don't want to have to repeat work. Okay.
Tear out the sidewalk, they just pour it in a section, because I think that's an approach going in.
Yes, yeah, I'm familiar with that project. So that is a project that I have going on right now with a neighboring person. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I spoke with the engineer. They haven't submitted the plans yet for that, but I did see that they are gonna be impacting that same pavement area there. And so, yeah, my recommendation is to not move forward with that right now.
Just wait. Okay.
Just wait.
I just wasn't sure if there was other ones like Russ was talking about, little patches here
Those
and there.
very small ones, but it's not gonna be over that contingency 10%.
Well, the question was, in the future, like the county does some asphalt work on those type of jobs, would it behoove us to try to maybe working out an IGA with them? Would it be cheaper? Would it be better? Would we get better quality? Cause Russ was talking about the quality of what he's seeing out there.
Yeah, and we did walk the project with the contractor recently on our punch walk, and we did notice that there was some quality issues in a couple of areas. We checked, you know, the smoothness of the grades in some areas for the patches, and they were within the smoothness tolerances, because we took basically a straight edge level, and they're allowed up to 1/4 of an inch of, you know, leeway within the longitudinal measurement.
Okay.
None of the patches that we saw exceeded that.
Okay.
So they're within the cusp of that, and we have the compaction tests that prove that they did meet compaction for most of the larger patches. Some of the smaller ones, it's too small to test, but a lot of the larger areas that we did do the patches, they all met compaction.
Any other questions for Alex?
Well, just like thinking about the future of Gable, so I work at Avamere, which is off Gable, and we have all these chalk lines going all through our property. So, I mean, it would probably be smart to just not do a lot of those patchworks on roads that we are gonna tear up, you know, soon. So, I mean, we don't want a lake in the middle of a road that people have to drive through, obviously, but.
And no point in duplicating work either.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. A lot of the patches that were done, like specifically ones on off of Deer Island, and I think it was North 8th or 10th Street. We had a lot of flooding within that areas, and Public Works did a couple of catch basin works there. And so the pavement, when we noticed after we had that large rainstorm on Saturday, the previous.
Yeah, it was something else.
A lot of rain, we came there the next day and didn't see any puddles at that location at all. So
Really,
Nice.
that's good.
it's working as it is intended to.
Yeah,
Good job.
yeah, 'cause that was a lot of rain in 3-4 hours time. And a lot of thunder and lightning. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
So we can scratch number 7 off for tonight.
I did check in with the city forester earlier to get some communication on the status of our forest cut for the year. He's let me know that the prices for timber have fallen quite a bit. His advice was to hold off on doing a cut just because of the magnitude of what that means to the finances.
I mean, if he's, yeah, he says hold off, but I think we approved that a while ago.
I was gonna say, so
And he,
how does that affect our plans?
Back when timber was up.
Right,
well, there was already timber money in the budget.
okay, so the budget, the timber money we budgeted for has been accounted for, and we have that, and.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
That one was already received last year. That was already a cut. This was a new future cut that we approved.
And that's really the risk of depending on timber to balance the budget is that there's fluctuations, large timber companies have these timber.
How much has
rates,
it
and they
dropped?
cut no matter what. Market's up, market's down.
How much does it drop?
I didn't chance today.
I mean,
See it on the dollars.
How long does it take to, from, you know, like we say, let's do it, and then timber's cut and sold? Because it seems like it's been a while since we approved
it
it.
is.
So if it would have happened quicker, maybe it wouldn't
would've-
have been an
it
issue.
would've
I'm
been
just
higher.
curious about that.
Usually we start pretty early in the year, February, March. And once the contract's accepted, we get 50% of the value straight up,
Right off the
Yeah.
get-go.
right off the gate.
Before it's been cut.
Yep,
Before
and then they
contract.
have up to a year to cut it and then final payment after that.
So where are we at in that process if we approved it already?
We haven't approved the sale yet. Usually he prepares the sale, then we'll go out for bids, and come back with the bids.
So we should have been harder on him to get it
To
here.
prepare this
Yeah,
out?
yeah.
Yeah, it's,
It's been a
Yeah.
while, right? It's been
Yeah.
3 or 4
So
months.
that's,
yeah, it has been a little bit of delay.
yeah.
But I had forgot about it, this, everything else. And what about that timber sale? Trying to get
Well, I would still like to know what the market is
Yeah.
and, you know, cause he said it was still on a above average at the time. Is it even? Cause I don't know. I mean, timber can go this way or it's a commodity. You can go, if it's starting to dive down, maybe we pull the trigger now and he has that document ready. It's
Usually
it's- we
usually
have-
the spring is the time that sales are happening, the market's
the
hot.
best in May, and that's what we tried to shoot for. And we missed it by a long shot.
About next year at this point. So. Just with fire
Well-
season and everything else.
But will next year, still be, may still be, because it's a commodity and it could be even lower. That's true. They'll buy today that 50% and wait till the forest opens. Cut.
The trees grow 3% in volume a year, so
Well, I understand that, but we went down probably more than 3%.
I
I bet I'm right.
get you the information. I just wanted to share what I learned on the fly today, but
Sometimes you take a risk trying to hold on to something for too long. And we have other cuts coming behind that too.
just earlier. Lori gave a presentation on the fourth quarter for last year, and I was reading through that last night, kind of reflecting on, how things have changed, the ARPA money masking some of that. And really, we've been writing this. When you look at it, you'll see that SDCs are down, you'll see the building permit revenues down. And you look at, the middle school project that went in, that was had a big permit fee, lots of permit activity. We did the St. Helens Apartments, we did with the grocery outlet, the Legacy, the high school project. They're all been big projects have kind of hitting. And then we're getting through Gable Road at those were propped up and pretty high level. And, our estimates are falling short in those, in the building. Not so much in the permitting, but more in the SDC collection, things of that nature. And,
Sure, so I
it's
mean,
it's a little, we're hitting, it's a little slow down dip, but at the same time, we're bringing Millard Road on, we're bringing the industrial property on, we're gonna. There's some good things happening too, the work on the riverfront as we get that more shovel ready. Thanks developers, that should. Permits going, get some tax base developing.
I definitely agree with that.
It'll cycle back, so.
We don't have those yet, so.
No, they're.
They'll take a year out. Yes, even
But everything we're doing is making them more ready to be built sooner.
We're ready to approve, hopefully on a special session real soon. Some revenue that will come through to the city and more jobs back to their community. So, but I still think that being said, everything you just said. I would really like to hear from our forester. I know it grows 3% a year. But is this one of those down? Everybody seems hungry right now. These contractors are all starting to get hungry a little bit.
I'll follow up with them, but
Yeah, that's a sign that timber could go way down. And I'm not asking him to try to be the oracle and say, yeah, sell now because it's gonna go down more, but he's been doing it longer than, and he does it. We don't. I just want to know. So do we have Brent just give us an update, even if it's Zoom?
Coordinate with them.
Yeah.
Other than that, I have an executive session for you. That's it.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and adjourn but we'll be going into executive session under ORS 1926602 real property transaction and H consulting with counsel, potential litigation. With that, we are adjourned. Okay, we'll take a 10-minute